Maureen Pelton is a woman with remarkable mental powers. In preparation for this interview, I met with Maureen a few days ago because I am a man totally of this world. By contrast, Maureen calls herself a mystic, which is defined as having a spiritual reality not apparent to the intelligence or senses. So, welcome, Maureen. I'm delighted. This is going to be very interesting because some of the stories you told me are just amazing. So, you call yourself a mystic, yet from our earlier meeting and your truly amazing stories about communicating with the spirits or souls of the dead, why don't you call yourself a medium? Because you do communicate with the souls of the dead.
Right, and I do, and the reason I use the term mystic, and keeping in mind that labels are limiting, but is because I'm in service to the divine or God or the oneness or whatever you want to call it. But my work is to really serve the divine, and it's really not about talking to dead people.
Yeah, you really are. I don't want to be performing, but so much as well. How? All right. How do you provide service to the living?
Well,
with your skills.
Yeah, my intention, really, when I work with people, is to help them connect more deeply to their soul essence so that they can have more of themselves and their truth and their voice in their present day world. So it's helping them bridge to the formlessness and the spirit that they embody and know who they truly are versus the conditioning of this physical world.
That's a much more challenging task. We know our physical self, but we're not quite sure where else we are. Well, now, I know that you do talk to people in terms of your work, but individuals, but you also teach a class. And I was, I was fascinated with the first couple sentences of the syllabus of your class at Normandale College. It says here, are you ready to awaken your intuitive abilities and explore your life purpose? The intention of this course is to harmonize body and soul to enhance the power of your intuition, creativity, and energy through experiential learning.
Exactly.
What do you do?
Well, it's a very experiential class because the intention is to connect people more deeply with their soul essence and their truth, and it's a way of empowering them to know who they truly are and their purpose here. And they like to actually experience it because it's not an intellectual process. It has to be something that we actually experience. And what I find with adults is that most adults have some intuitive ability, but they don't trust it. So if they play with it and they're given experiences, they begin to trust it. And then they're able to live their life more from their sense of truth than the outside world's sense of truth.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you do on occasion, help individuals, particularly where there's suffering on the part of the loss of a loved one and so on. You told some fascinating stories. You mentioned here, I live in this world, but you can see other dimensions.
Yes.
Well, we're about to see the other dimension now with this story. The first one with the girlfriend who had lost the boyfriend and about the dog and so on.
Yeah, so a young woman came to see me who had lost her boyfriend several months prior, and she was grieving and she just was having a hard time. And so I checked in with her boyfriend, who was very much accessible because his essence was still in her energy body. And he shared some things with me, which I shared with her, that no one else could have known.
What happened? What did he tell you to tell her?
Well, the most interesting one that was most shocking for her was that at the end of the session, I said to her, because most of the stuff that I receive, it does not make sense to me.
You're merely the translator.
Yes. So I said to her, I don't understand this, but he's telling you, he's showing me a little white Maltese puppy, and he's telling you to get the dog. And I just need to tell you that, but I don't understand it. And she broke down in tears and this look of shock on her face because she was leaving the appointment with me and going to a Maltese breeder to look at a puppy, and she couldn't decide if she should get a puppy or not because they're a lot of work, and there was no way he could know this.
Because he had died long before
this. Yeah. And the fact that he was telling this, she really knew he was still connected with her, and it really changed her life to know that he's okay and he's connected. And I don't know if she got the dog or not, but.
Talk about the sister whose other sister had died.
Yeah. A woman came to see me who was troubled because her sister had died on the West Coast, and she wasn't there when it happened, and her sister was coming to her in her dreams.
Regularly.
And she couldn't sleep, and she was troubled, and she came to me, and when I looked at psychically, intuitively looked at the sister who was dead, the sister told me that she had been shot by her husband. And when I said this to the client, the client started to cry and said that everyone believed she'd been shot by the husband, but the police had considered it a suicide because they didn't have any proof. And the sister who had passed away just wanted the client, her sister, to know the truth.
In other words, the dead sister wanted her living sister to know the truth was that she
had been shot by her husband. And I didn't know this, but apparently it had been an abusive relationship. And so my client, the sister who was alive, felt great relief to have that validated and to know her sister was okay.
There's a third story that's more in terms of being a psychic. The woman who had cancer and was thinking of going to Palm Springs.
A woman in her 80s came to see me, and she had been diagnosed with cancer and told she had 18 months to live. And when I looked at her essence and checked in, what I saw was, yes, she had cancer, and yes, she needed to undergo treatment and follow the advice of her doctors, but that she was going to be around for quite some time, and that it would be good to go to Palm Springs with her husband and to live her life fully. And it's 6 years later now, and she's still alive and doing great. She does have cancer. She has gone through treatment, but she's doing great.
Now, those are remarkable stories. Let's close by your comment. You told me something that, as far as you're concerned, or from your own communications, there is life after death.
Yes.
Now, can you define or explain why you think that's the case?
Well, the reason I know that is because we have these physical bodies of matter that our soul essence embody, and when these bodies are gone, we still have a soul essence that lives multidimensionally. It's living multidimensionally now. Some of us know that and can access that, but when the body's gone, it's simply the releasing of something physical, but the soul essence continues on, and there is many other dimensions besides the one we can see here, and that's where that's where I live, is between those worlds.
You lead a remarkable life, and you do, and I'm very, very pleased that you do take your skills and use it to best advantage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roland.
Maureen Pelton, the most remarkable mystic.